Jim McDermott of Washington State, joining us from Capitol Hill now. Representative McDermott, let me ask you, what is wrong with this deal? Why don't you like it?
Well, there's so many things wrong with it, I'm not quite sure where to start. Let's start with this one. Give 2 years of tax breaks to the ultra wealthy in this country and give the unemployed 13 months of unemployed insurance. Now, at least you could have made it 2 years. You could have said, well, at least as long as they're going to give these tax breaks to the rich, let's give something to the unemployed. The president
Wouldn't that have incentivized them not to go out and work? If you give someone 2 years of unemployment insurance, doesn't that say don't go out and look for a job?
You've never been without a job to talk like that. Anybody who's been unemployed is tried and tried and tried and tried. There are 15 million people trying for jobs where there are 5 people applying for every job, and this idea that there's some moral hazard in giving unemployment insurance is because you've never lived in the family. My father was unemployed, and that's the money that pays for the food on the table and pays the mortgage and keeps the lights on. And for you to say that this is them, they'll sit at home and wait for their employment check just simply is not true.
Well, I'm not the only one saying that. You hear a number of economists saying the same thing, that it will incentivize. If you pay someone unemployment and extend that for 2 years, it will incentivize them, and you won't see the unemployment numbers coming down quickly enough.
We're not seeing Wall Street loaning money to small businesses. The president might be able to get something done there, but you're not going to get them by cutting off, by starving the hostages. You are not going to get this economy going. The money spent on unemployment benefits comes back 2 to 1. For every buck you put out, you get 2 back. And that's, every economist admits to that. So there is no loss in money. When you give somebody who has nothing and has got kids at home, they are going to go out and buy immediately.
Do you think, Representative, that Wall Street banks are intentionally not lending money to credit-worthy small businesses that are asking for loans?
They're trying to protect themselves because they know they've got all these terrible losses on the books for the homes that they have underwater, and they don't want to write them down. And as long as they hold on to their money to cover that, to give themselves some cushion when that occurs, they are not going to loan as they should. I think the government should have taken over the banks in the first place, as they did in Sweden, and make the banks be honest about what they're doing, write down the loans, and get us back on the road. But instead, we gave them $700 billion and said, do the right thing. And they haven't done it.
Representative McDermott, I want to go back to, though, your criticism of the president specifically here. I mean, from what I hear you and other Democrats, you feel like the president's being bullied by members of the Republican Party. Is it not really the case, or is it just that he's kind of working the political system? I mean, there's a little give and take on both sides. I mean, as a taxpayer, I'm supporting all you guys. I want to see that back and forth. Isn't that what the president's starting to do, to move the process forward?
The Republicans have been operating with one rule, that is, defeat President Obama. Every single filibuster for the last 2 years should have been evidence to everyone that they were not serious about working out the problems. And in fact, McConnell finally said it. He said, my one job is to make sure that Obama's not reelected. He does nothing about the American people, nothing about the economy, nothing about our place in the world, our START treaty. All these things are sitting there because he wants to defeat Obama.
Is it all about what the Republicans have done? I mean, would you say that the shellacking that the Democrats received during the midterm elections was all due to Republican efforts?
The president tried to do a lot of things. Maybe you could criticize this or that. Maybe he shouldn't have spent so much time on health care. He shouldn't have gone after cap and trade or whatever. But he tried, and the Republicans systematically, by refusing to let the majority rule, using the 40% in the Senate as a way to stop everything, made it impossible for him to get anything done. And I think that this is the issue that the American people are going to have to understand. Starting on the 3rd of January, they'll have the House, they'll have the Senate, they'll have 52, only the Democrats will only have 52 votes, so the Republicans can stop everything, and we'll see what they put on the president's desk. If I were the president, I would sit back and say, you put the program on my desk. I made my proposals, you didn't do anything. Now you put it on my desk, and we'll see where we're going.
All right, so Representative McDermott, so tell me where the Democrats are at this point. I mean, what's the mood of your fellow Democrats? I mean, is there likely enough support, Democratic support specifically for this agreement to pass Congress? I'm talking about the tax issues and so on. Is there enough support among the Democrats to pass this and for it to become law?
Well, I think there's a feeling that maybe we who have, the heart is always on the left. And they think that because we have a heart for the unemployed, we'll suddenly crumple and we'll vote for and swallow all this awful stuff that they've done in this tax bill in terms of more income inequality and the estate tax and all that. We're going to swallow that to take care of the unemployed. That's what they're hoping for. I think the Democratic caucus is going to be divided, and what you're going to find out is how hypocritical are the Republicans, because they say no deficit. Everything should be paid for.
So is there enough Democratic support to get this through? I got 5 seconds here.
No.
No. You
Not
got
right now.
All right. Great to get some time with you. All right. Great to get some time. Representative Jim McDermott.